I don't know about this practice, is a story. There's doubt, there's aversion, there's greed, there's restlessness. There are all these things. Just to acknowledge them in their simplicity, not in terms of what they're about. Acknowledging the experience and then just letting it be there, but inclining the mind instead to equanimity. So inclining the mind once again to the phrase, to the person, with a really gentle, amused attitude. We're training the mind just like we train puppies. Mind is like a puppy all over the place. Or like that curious monkey with getting involved in the sticky sap. We might not understand what's going on in the background, what's getting purified in the background. You'll see eventually clearly what it is. Just staying with the simplicity and having a clarity about what is being cultivated. Using a phrase that really brings the wisdom into the foreground. And remembering we're not cultivating a wish for somebody, we're cultivating a balanced attitude towards them, which is why I really love Kamasaka as a phrase, because it doesn't have any explicit well-wishing. May you be at ease is a metta phrase. It has an equanimity flavor, but it's really a well-wishing. Whereas Kamasaka is a very clear understanding of just nature, the way things are. Continuing this practice today with the next category. And this is where you need to be very alert to those sticky branches because it's the deer person. So this is where a lot of purification happens with attachment. And where there can be an immense amount of relief. Because it can be common in human relationships that others ask us to fix their lives or make them happy. Their happiness is their business. It's not our business. We act and speak as kindly as we can, but if they're not happy, kamasaka. And not needing to fix somebody's distress. We who are women have a harder time with this than men, actually, because we're trained to be caretakers. And so then we want to take care of everybody and never mind anything. It's a very special balance to be able to take care of others and also to understand their happiness is their business. So that longer phrase I quoted a couple of days ago, your happiness or unhappiness depends upon your actions, not upon my wishes for you, is an expression of this. And amongst our dear ones, this is where this imbalance or balance can come out. We'll see the imbalance, we cultivate the balance. This can be both a relief and very uncomfortable because many of us are not very good at saying, no, I can't do that for you. And so we allow those close to us to walk all over us and take advantage of our open, big hearts. So cultivating balance here, we see a lot and potentially let go of a lot. So practically, in this category, choosing somebody at first who is not complicated, somebody with whom you're close, but at least on the surface, the relationship does seem pretty balanced. And using the same technique as we've done with the other two, establish stillness in the body, really ground yourself in presence, and then bring them to heart and mind and repeat the phrase. So over and over and over again. So we'll do that in silence, cultivating Upekkha for the deer category. Thank you for your practice. Keep going like this. So the practice for today is to stay with this category, choosing a relatively uncomplicated person at first, as you have done. And then if you would like this afternoon, if it feels like you can access the Upekkha for this first person, you can go to a second dear friend or beloved person. Should you encounter strong difficulty where you just kind of lose your balance altogether and can't find a way in to even connect with Upekkha, either go back to an easier category in the Upekkha practice, or go back to metta for someone easy, or if you feel the need to, for yourself. Do that as long as you need to, and then pick up the Upekkha practice again once you've found balance. And in general activities, again, cultivating Upekkha in a free-flowing way towards anybody who happens to be in the vicinity, or towards this same person if you happen to be doing something by yourself in a quiet place. And in general activities, often the practice is maintaining an attitude of Upekkha and picking up the phrase whenever you remember to do it, when you're not actually engaged in some activity. Quiet day, no meetings, doing whatever practice you can. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, please, Ricardo.
Grazie.
So he has a couple of questions. He will be brief. So partially you already replied to this question. Is related to the phrase I've chosen. So I was using like may there be ease with conditions in your life. Anyway, as you were mentioning, it seems like in this phrase there is like the flavor, the meta flavor.
See.
Yes. So then there was a shift in the phrase, ease in your life is due to conditions. Is it fine?
Perfect. Yeah.
And then the question is about the dear person to address Upekkha to. Can I choose my really young son? He's 10 months old.
Oh.
So is it fine because there's not yet such developed a relationship, let's say?
Sure. Because it will be challenged every moment of the day for the next rest of your life. Yeah. Yeah.
Grazie mille. Thank you very much.
Grazie, Ricardo. So, Federica and then Christina.
What I find difficult is to find a real separation between the Brahmaviharas. It means that yesterday, the first days, I saw often metta background, and then like Upekkha is an evolution. I mean, the sentence was just Kamasaka, but before there was the person. Traduco io, Marcella.
Ok, grazie.
And there was the person, and then and then it was more. There was more metta on foreground. Then it is like the person goes on background, and Upekkha is on foreground, and also the person is like in a space, not really there. And today, with the dear person, there is more karuna, and there is seeing how it has to go through the acceptance of suffering. And then when there is this kind of letting go and acceptance in the background, then there is this kind of spaciousness, but all the time the person goes on background. It is like space. There is the person that is in the space.
That's perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Federica. That's the ongoing discernment is part of the practice. Understanding when there is upekkha, there's simply no clinging. So we hold the metta, the karuna, the mudita in this space of understanding. So there's still that sense of connection, but your description is really nice because it's like it's much more spacious. It isn't like this. It's more like that. Yeah. So the connection is there. That's the key part. Even if it feels quite spacious, you're not disconnected. Yeah. And there are various ways that can be experienced. So exploring the landscape. Grazie. Christina and then Phaedra.
So I would like to ask about a kind of connection I try to get back whenever I lose the concentration. So there is such a movement in the mind, recollecting an image, something really vividly about a personal experience, which looks like to be related to Upekkha itself, because it's just recollecting about that very moment when my daughter is just living. She's actually living in Uruguay, and I'm accompanying her to the airport. I can see her at the gate, and in that very moment, there is such a realization and spaciousness about her being owner of her own decisions in life as a human being. So not only being my daughter, so that can create a kind of recollection and a way to get back to concentration. Is it fine to do like that?
Oh, absolutely. And Phaedra.
So the question Phaedra would like to share is about natural manifestations in the body. For example, while repeating the phrase, if all of a sudden there is like laughter or tears due to the sensation moving into the body connected to the practice, how to deal with it. For example, should we let them express and let it be and then go back to the practice, or should we just put them aside, kind of, let's say, ignoring them and simply incline again to Upekkha phrase?
The inclination in the practice should always be there. You can't have too much continuity of that. That's remembering, that's basic mindfulness, actually. If there's spontaneous laughter or tears, be careful not to indulge that and kind of wallow in it. Because indulging in these things, I mean, they can be very seductive. Not pushing them away, but keeping the inclination to upekkha rather than keeping the tears or the laughter going. And what you're striving for is that middle path between indulging completely and pushing away. So we've gone 5 minutes over. If you need to leave, feel free to go ahead. Lorena, I'll take your question if it's brief.
So the feedback regarding the practice towards the third person is like to perceive it like a fixed shape into the mind, and then repeating all over the phrase. And there is a kind of, let's say, boredom about it. And so it's like the practice gets shortened in a way, and it's like repeating kamasaka, kamasaka, and like you being the daughter or the mother of your actions. And so there is this feeling. So is it correct? It's going in the like in the right direction, or am I doing something wrong?
If you are connected and these things are happening, that's okay. And the boredom can be a symptom of disconnection. So if you find the phrase becoming just words, just like a mantra, take a moment to pause, slow down the repetition of the phrase and connect with what you are meaning as well as with the person, bringing a little more mindfulness in of what you are doing and of the person for whom you're radiating the Upekkha or cultivating the Upekkha.
Thank you very much.
Grazie a tutti.
Thank you, everybody.
So wishing you an interesting day of practice. Please just keep going, no matter what. And we'll see you at 6 o'clock for the Dhamma talk.